There are currently 1,121 active NHL players split across 32 franchises. 71.5% of those players were born in either Canada or the US, whereas the other 28.5% of players are coming from 16 other countries. Today we will be going over the best current NHL player from every country. Let's go in alphabetical order, starting with Australia. Australia makes this really easy for me as they only have one active NHL player, and that's Nathan Walker from the St. Louis Blues. Walker spent time in both the AHL and NHL this season, being a point-per-game guy in the AHL and getting 8 goals and 12 points in 30 games with the Blues. Austria is our next country, and they have just 2 players to choose from, veteran Michael Raffl and rookie Marco Rossi. Obviously, thus far Raffl has had the better career. In fact, Rossi hasn't even had a point yet. But I'm going to go with Marco Rossi of the Minnesota Wild. Rossi played in just 2 NHL games and recorded 0 points, but did play 63 games for the Iowa Wild, where he recorded 53 points in 63 games. Rossi is only 2 years removed from an OHL season in which he put up 120 points in just 56 games, and has since battled with COVID-19 related illness, but he is finally healthy again. I expect Rossi to be much better than a 16-point guy this coming season, which is why he gets the spot instead of Raffl. Belarus is up next, and it's a no-brainer picking Igor Sharangovich from the New Jersey Devils. The only 2 other Belarusian players are Protas and Kolyachuk, who have just 9 and 3 career points respectively. Sharangovich is coming off a season in which he scored 24 goals and 46 points in 76 games with the Devils. Canada is our next country, and obviously this goes to Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. There is nobody close, only honorable mention is Makar, which tells you how good McDavid is. Connor is coming off a season in which he put up a career-high 44 goals and 123 points. With the Oilers roster looking bolstered since the start of last season, I wouldn't be shocked to see him hit that 130-point mark next season. Czechia is next, and they have 39 players to choose from. Lots of great talent like Jakub Voracek, Andre Palat, Tomáš Hertl, Vrana, Kubalik, Zacha, and more. But for me, this is another no-brainer, and it's David Pastrnak from the Boston Bruins. Pasta is coming off a season in which he scored 40 goals and 77 points in just 72 games. Denmark is our next country, and even though they only have 7 players, this one was a little tough. Nikolai Ehlers, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Freddie Andersen, and Lars Eller highlight the crop. But for me, it's between Ehlers and Andersen, but I've got to give it to Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets. Andersen just had an incredible season, but he's playing behind the best defensive team in the NHL, and had a horrific season the year before. Ehlers, on the other hand, is coming off a season in which he put up 28 goals and 55 points in just 62 games. If he had been able to stay healthy, he would have almost certainly broken the 70-point mark for the first time in his career. Up next is Finland, who boasts a tremendous amount of high-end talent, including the likes of Alex Barkov, Sebastian Aho, Mikko Rantanen, Patrick Laine, Miro Heiskanen, and more. But I've definitely got to give this one to Alex Barkov of the Florida Panthers. Barkov is one of the best defensive centers in the league and is shaping up to be the next Bergeron, albeit with a higher offensive ceiling. He is coming off a season in which he just had 39 goals and 88 points in just 67 games. France is the next country on our list, and they only have 3 players to choose from, and that is Antoine Roussel, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and Alex Texier. I've definitely got to go with Texier from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Roussel is kind of obviously not in the mix at this point, and between Bellemare and Texier, they both scored 20 points, but Bellemare did it in 80 games while Texier did it in just 36. So pretty clear-cut winner here. Germany, it's not even close, it's obviously Leon Draisaitl from the Edmonton Oilers. Some other interesting names are Tim Stützle and Moritz Seider, but they do not come close to sniffing Draisaitl. Leon is coming off a year in which he scored a career-high 55 goals and 110 points for the Oilers, and will almost certainly crack 100 again this coming year. Latvia is our next country, and they have just 5 players, including Zemgus Girgensons, Teddy Bluger, Rudolf Balcers, and Elvis Merzlikins. This one is clearly going to Elvis Merzlikins from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Elvis had a bit of a down year this past season, going just 27, 23, and 7, with a .907 save percentage and a 3.22 goals against average. But the previous 2 years, Elvis was electric, so I expect a big bounce back from him this coming year. The Netherlands are the next ones up, and this was a tough one. It was between Daniel Sprong and, it's just Daniel Sprong at this point. Sprong has struggled to find his groove at the NHL level, but might have more of an opportunity with the Kraken this coming year. In 63 games last season with the Capitals and the Kraken, Sprong put up 14 goals and 6 assists for 20 points. Our next country is Norway, and once again we have just one player to choose from, and it's Matt Zuccarello from the Minnesota Wild. In preparing for this video, I had no idea that Zook was a point per game player this past season. He had 24 goals and 79 points in just 70 games. I guess that's what playing with Kirill Kaprizov will do for you. Obviously, that shouldn't take away from Zuccarello though, who had earned his spot alongside Kaprizov on the top line. Russia is the next country on our list, and this one was pretty tough. There are a lot of suitable candidates like Kucherov, Panarin, Ovechkin, Kaprizov, Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, and many more. But I've got to give this one to Nikita Kucherov from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kuch is coming off a season in which he had 25 goals and 69 points in just 47 games. I mentioned it in a previous video, but over the past 3 seasons that Kucherov has played in, he has averaged a 117 point pace. On top of that, he has had 93 points in the playoffs in the past 3 seasons, somehow not winning a Conn Smythe in the process. In a full season, I expect Kucherov to be a legit Art Ross, Hart, and Ted Lindsay Award frontrunner. Slovakia is up next, and there are some great names like Zdeno Chara, Tomáš Tatar, Erik Cernak, and even rookie Slavkovsky. But for now, I've got to give it to Erik Cernak from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Cernak is a big physical presence on the blue line and an integral part of the Lightning's core that helped them win 11 straight playoff series. He has just signed an 8-year deal for $41 million, so I don't think he's going anywhere soon. In 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't be shocked if it's Slavkovsky or even Dalibor Dvorsky, who's looking like a legit top 5 pick in next year's draft. Slovenia is the next country, and there's also just one player from here, but boy howdy is it a good one. Andrej Kopitar from the LA Kings gets this spot. Kopitar is coming off a season in which he had scored 19 goals and 67 points in 81 games, and is poised to claw the Kings back into the playoffs once again. Unless Kopitar retires, I can't see anyone taking this spot from him if other Slovenian players start making the NHL. Sweden is our third to last country, and this one was also a bit tough considering there are now over 100 Swedish NHL players. The super underrated Nicklas Backstrom is an option, Filip Forsberg, Victor Hedman, Gabe Landeskog, Elias Pettersson, and Jacob Markstrom are also options. But to me, this one has got to go to Victor Hedman from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hedman just had his first legit point per game season this past year, scoring 20 goals and 85 points in 80 games from the blue line. He's a non-negotiable top 3 defenseman in the league, and it's looking like that will continue for a while. Next up is Switzerland, and speaking of top 3 defensemen in the league, this one is going to be Roman Josi from the Nashville Predators. Josi is coming off a season in which he had 23 goals and 96 freaking points in 80 games as a defender. This one isn't even close, even though there are great names coming out of Switzerland like Kevin Fiala, Timo Meier, and Nico Hischier. Lastly is the United States, which boasts the second most number of players, second to just Canada. There are a lot of great American players like Patrick Kane, Johnny Gaudreau, the Tkachuk brothers, Adam Fox, JT Miller, but this one without a doubt goes to Austin Matthews. Matthews is coming off a ridiculous season in which he scored 60 goals and 106 points in just 73 games, winning him the Rocket, Hart, and Ted Lindsay Awards. A repeat 60-goal season is definitely in the cards for Matthew this coming season. Who do you think is the best player from every country? That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.